just a little bit tentative, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll call the Johnston Special City Council meeting number 20-02 to order. Cindy, roll call, please.
Councilmember Pope.
Here.
Reddy.
Yep.
Soroka.
Here.
Evans. Martin.
I'll begin by reading the COVID-19 information statement. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic and in accordance with Governor Reynolds' March 19, 2020 proclamation suspending the regulatory provisions of Iowa Code Section 21.8 or any other statute imposing a requirement to hold a public meeting or hearing, the City of Johnston will conduct meetings electronically with the public allowed to attend per instructions denoted on the meeting's particular agenda. Meeting minutes will continue to be posted per the city's normal course of business. The next item on the agenda is to welcome anyone that has joined us. Cindy, do we have anyone other than the council members and city staff on the call today?
No, we do not.
Okay, well, if anybody does join us, please let us know. The next item on the agenda is the agenda approval. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
No changes.
If not, then do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Suresh. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Cindy, vote please.
Councilmember Pope.
Yes.
Reddy.
Yes.
Soroka.
Yes.
Motion passed. Moving on to item 4A, the non-consent agenda. We have one item this afternoon, and that is to consider resolution number 20-2013, authorizing the request for reimbursement of eligible COVID-19 related expenses from the state of Iowa. And Teresa, I assume that's you?
That is me. And again, my apologies. I had this ready and I thought on the agenda for last Monday night and or Tuesday night, and apparently it slipped through the cracks. I got it done too early and then forgot about it or something anyway. And it's all due today. So the issue is that when the state of Iowa received $125 million from the federal government, part of that had to be passed down to local governments. And the state released the information here about three weeks ago or so regarding what those eligible expenses were going to be for. And one of the things they said was that they were going to commit to reimburse cities for necessary expenditures that we incurred due to COVID-19, that COVID-19 health emergencies that were not FEMA eligible expenses. So as an example, no regular salary time is ever FEMA reimbursable. So all the time that the police chief or the fire chief spent at the EOC and all of those events and things like that that we did, none of that is eligible. In fact, the only eligible FEMA wage that is eligible for me to ask for was 2 hours of overtime, because everything else was done all under regular time or changing up shifts and those types of things. The Iowa League of Cities did a webinar and have done several actually, but brought out all the information explaining to cities the things that were going to be eligible for funding. This first go around of funding that has to be applied for by today is for funds that occurred through July. And they and specifically if we're asking for public safety reimbursement of salaries and such, which we can do up to 25% of salaries that were budgeted for a budget that was approved and on the books as of March 2020. So we amended our budget in January for the first time, and then we amended it again in May. But Kathy had to go back and pull the budgeted amendment that we had in effect on March 20th to use the salary and wage information that we had and the budget information that we have. So to make a long story short, to try to shorten this up for you, there's also a document out there that says based on our population, the amount that Johnston may be eligible to receive is that $536,696.57 that I have in the staff report. Our request, when they said we can request up to 25% of our salaries for public safety, our request is a little over $630,000. When I contacted them, my question was, if we ask for more than what we know we're going to get, we had to provide a whole lot more documentation, quite frankly, or do I just ask for what we know they're saying we're going to get? And the answer was, well, other cities might not ask, so ask for it all. And that created a lot of work for us, but we did it. It's done. I'm not complaining. It's done. And then the other thing that had to go with that application is this resolution of support that basically says we're not asking for anything that we asked for from FEMA or that we asked for that we didn't experience. And so we're really asking for salaries we've paid and those types of things. Now, when Janet has asked for that community survey, and she's coming back at the next council meeting to further cloud that subject, and I'll let her explain that at that time. Tom had asked her a very good question about the company that had always done her surveys. And the truth is the CARES money will pay for any company to do that survey if we ask the COVID CARES questions also. So she'll be coming back with more information for the council to consider whether you think we should just go with our regular company or whether we really do go with POPO. So we haven't placed that order, but regardless, that request wouldn't be until our next request. And so we'll make another request that is obviously above and beyond where we've already asked for, that is above and beyond what we think we're gonna get. But bottom line is if we decide to do the salary survey and we do get some funding for it, we can certainly use that. The issue with the salaries and quite frankly, the thing that was confusing all of us finance directors is we've already paid those. Those were budgeted. We anticipated paying everybody their salary anyway. We were kind of shocked that this is the money we're getting back because it was our budget and our salary, but we're not going to argue with it. We wouldn't have gotten back. We obviously didn't get back the time Dennis spent, and there were certain things we didn't get back. So if we do her survey, it will just be, we can certainly use this money for it, and we'll reimburse public safety for a lesser amount. Whatever we reimburse public safety for, it is money that was never anticipated getting, is what I'm trying to say. Whew, that was a long answer to a lot of questions. I don't know if you have questions.
Teresa, you mentioned that something about a staff report for this issue.
Yeah, it should have been on board docs.
And no, I'm on board docs, and all it has is the resolution.
Go down. Well, the staff report is just that under number 4A right there, that little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know if have you pulled together like how we will spend the 536,000 or the 600,000? Is that
It just has to go back to public safety at this point, based on what because that's what we've asked for. We've asked for salaries of public safety people.
okay?
So it's going to be going back into the general fund towards public safety.
Some to fire, some to police.
Yep.
Okay. I just didn't know, if you'd broken it down or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
I'm sure I could get those numbers from Kathy.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I just was.
And we didn't copy the whole.
If you had something, I didn't see it in front of us.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I don't.
I'm not asking you to pull something.
So Teresa, related to the question that Tom just asked, what will be the process for determining how those funds will be spent?
Well, technically,
I mean, we've already paid those salaries.
Right,
We budgeted, we budgeted the money to pay for those salaries, so that those salaries have already been paid. So this is new money.
right. And so it's gonna go back into their program area in the general fund and make my ending balance bigger yet, Tom.
Well,
And,
that's fine. That's not bad.
and then we can decide. I don't know that there's any pressure that we decide right away, Mayor.
Oh, I don't think we need to.
I
think-
know that,
No.
for an example, I know the fire department wants some additional personal protective equipment for protests and things like that.
I guess it would be my request that any proposals to spend this money need to be approved by the city council.
Okay, sure, absolutely. Because whatever they'd ask for wouldn't be budgeted, probably.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I would agree with that.
And more than likely, it's all going to be over the $10,000 limit. So it's probably going to have to go to council anyway. So that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But just process-wise, Teresa, I just want to confirm this. So if we get a reimbursement from FEMA,
The FEMA reimbursement is totally separate than this, Jim. So the FEMA reimbursement really will come in as FEMA reimbursement for overtime for the fire department or police department, and FEMA reimbursement to each specific department that I turned in invoices for.
What happened? Did we lose everybody?
No, we're still here.
I went away for a minute, but what I was saying is when we reimburse for FEMA, the FEMA reimbursements are going to go back to specifically the department that already bought whatever the material was that I asked for it to be reimbursed from, or the wage, which was overtime for the police department.
So that's reimbursement for money that was spent that wouldn't have otherwise been spent.
Correct, absolutely. And those were things we couldn't include in this request for the CARES money.
Right. Other questions for Teresa? What time do you have to have this in, Teresa?
By 5. Are you anywhere where you have a scanner?
Well, I can swing by City Hall.
I didn't know if we could use your stamp or not, but I don't want to mess it up.
No.
Either, so.
I'm gonna see you later at City Hall anyway, but I'll stop by there on my way home
All right, thank you.
in a few minutes. Yeah.
All right.
Other questions for Teresa? If not, do we have a motion to approve resolution number 20-213?
Move approval, Cope.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Did I hear Jim Evans on the phone?
Here, hello.
He joined us.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Wanted to make sure that we had you as being in attendance. Okay. We have a motion and a second. Cindy, vote please.
Councilmember Evans,
Yes.
Ready,
Yes.
Soroka,
Yes.
Hope.
Yes.
Motion passed. Do we have anything else to come before the group? If not, we are adjourned and we'll see all of you later.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.